Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are featuring the Sinn 356. Now the 356 has been going for quite some time for Sinn. It's I think it's their smallest chronograph they make really. They really do shoehorn the movement into this one. And as I say, it's been out for years. There are various different configurations available for the Chrono, but the one we have here is in its most basic guise, I believe. So, you know, it's just a good, solid kind of watch, this one. I'm quite a fan due to its size. I think it's just one of those very wearable chronographs. Now, you can also get this watch, strip it down even more and have it on a leather strap. But what we have here is it on the H-Link bracelet. So anyway, before I get sidetracked, let me say a massive thank you to First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this. They've got so much stock. They are really, really friendly guys. Well worth going there and visiting their shop if you're in the area. If you're a bit further afield, well, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below and also at the bottom of the page now. All I ask is that you please mention the channel if you speak to them. So anyway, sizes. We are talking 38.5 millimeters, a thickness of 15.7. I think it was coming out at 15.4, somewhere around there, and the lug to lug is 45.5, and the bracelet size is 20 mil. Now, one thing I would mention: this is basically a 556 with a chronograph. When you look at the side here, it's actually the same case. The case dimensions, the actual body of the case are exactly the same. Differences are they actually fit a more bulbous case back on there to fit the rotor in there, and the more dome crystal to allow for the greater the greater hand stack on there. So it is actually a 356 with a chronograph. So anyway, let's look at that dial. The dial itself is classic Sinn. You've got these kind of great syringe style hands which feature on many Sinn models. What's nice about these hands and also these indices, it's covered in lume. There is a really good lume on this watch. I think it looks really, really good. Obviously, the contrast against the white and black, and you've got the Flieger down here, so that's just pilot, and a day-date complication over here at 3 o'clock position. Now, when it comes to reading the time and so forth on this, that there is your seconds, not this hand. I say that, but you would not believe how many people sometimes ask the thing, why isn't my watch working? Because the second hand isn't working. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're just getting into things, you don't always know this. So that is for seconds for your time. What we have here is the chronograph, and it is operated by a pusher here. Nice solid click. And that is the chronograph running. That's the minute counter for your chrono, and that is the hour counter for it down there. Yeah, I love the white hands, syringe hands on this. I think it's so classic Sinn. Just something very cool about it, I think. Now, as we go past this, we've got this crystal on here. Now, I'm pretty certain that is the acrylic crystal. Let me double check. Let me just check here. I can just double check for you. Here we go, and if I just touch that, we can see. Yep, that looks like it is a acrylic. If I touch it on that, that's indicating sapphire. So yeah, that is definitely the acrylic one. Now, what I would say is you can order this with an acrylic, a sapphire crystal if you so desired, but many people prefer an acrylic crystal. Please let me know in the comments below, which do you prefer, sapphire or acrylic? Sapphire tends to give that kind of, just gives that slightly different view to the movement. It has a more milky kind of look to it. I know many Omega fans are crazy for the sort of like acrylic Speedmasters, so please let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Now, as I say, body of a watch, it is exactly the same as the 556. This one, though, has been bead blasted. Now, it means you get less reflection off it and so forth. Now, the pushers on here, nice solid pushers. Actually, let's have a set and reset. So we've got a set. If you watch that now, boom, snaps back really well. The crown on the 356 is just solid. It's got these little crown guards, but to be fair, it's so easy to purchase the crown. It makes it for a really easy kind of, it just feels right. It is a screw down crown, as you can see here, and pops out. That goes into hand wind and screw that back in. There you go, first time, no problem at all. I say that because not all watches, when you do actually screw them back in, sometimes it's a little bit, you have to kind of go backwards and then put it in. It is signed with the Sinn logo on the back, the Sinn S, I should say, on the back. Now, the case back on this one is a solid case back. Believe it or not, some people actually prefer solid case backs. I don't know, yeah, strange people, but some people do. Underneath there, you have the Sleater SW500. Now, I put this one on Time Grapher, and it was coming in at +6. Now, this one's fresh out the box, so I don't know. Maybe that will change over time, but who knows. Still a very good reading. The movement should have 56 hours of power reserve on a full wind. Do be aware, if you have a desk job and you just sit there all day and you don't move your wrist around, you are not going to get that kind of hours. To properly hand wind a movement, you're talking anywhere from 20 to 40 winds, or if you've got a real high power reserve like I've got on one of my watches, it's about 100, and that's a manual wind to be aware of. So but anyway, that is a 56 hour power reserve with 25 joules. If you were to purchase an old one of these, it might not be 56 because basically they modified the movement later, so an earlier model might only have about 48 hours of power reserve. So anyway, the bracelet, the long-term classic with Sinn, the H-Link. I personally love the bracelet. I think it's fantastic. It has hex keys or Allen keys, depending on where you come from in the world, to adjust it there. It's the only brand I know which actually give you thread lock to actually put them back in with, because sometimes screws can naturally back themselves out and it can be a pain. You don't want to lose one. The clasp on this is the old style clasp, and I'm a big fan of the old style clasp due to the fact it is so slim. Makes it very, very wearable. Fold over safety link there and press out, and you have the dive link extension you can use there. So all very solid. Let me put it on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Zoom out here. I'm actually wearing at the moment the Sinn 103. Now this is the big brother to the 356. When I say big brother, this is a 41mm watch versus this, which is a 38.5. So both use the same movement, but you know, kind of they have you covered on which way you want to go. And as you notice, this one has a kind of a more polished and brushed feel to it, which separates it a little bit. This has a very tool watch feel about it. This one has a little bit more smarter feel about it. Again, I'd be interested to know, which do you prefer, the tool look or a little bit more kind of, dare I say, it almost looks more expensive, you know, because of a bit more bling, but not too much bling, if that makes sense. Let us know. And Bob has got a rather funky watch from Vario. This actually flips and rotates. It is very, I actually quite like that one. Got a bit of a soft spot for it, to be fair. So put this on, and that is it on my wrist. My wrist size is 7¼ inches, or that works out, I think, 18.5 centimeters. And it just sits down so well. I know some people, you know, you get lots of people who whinge that it's just simply too tall. But when you look at it on the wrist there, it depends. You only really see this bit. The crystal, you don't actually read so much. It doesn't feel cumbersome on the wrist or anything. I think it's absolutely superb. I've said many times, you know, there are not many chronographs on, you know, under £5,000 which are slim and automatics. There's maybe the odd one or two, but it's hard to find. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this one and which one you prefer. But most importantly, guys, stay safe out there. Bye.